Decisions, decisions, decisions. That's right. It's a hard choice, you know, when you're a female in the dating scene. You get approached all the time, and the hardest thing you ever had to do is take your pick. You know, I mean, it ain't like you had to please, impress, be able to make laugh, have the right car, have the right looks, have the right walk. Yeah, no lie, have the right walk. Okay, here I'll tell you why. Okay, my third date, Josh and I knew. I invited him over for a drink after our dinner. He agreed, but the walk home, his grip on my hand was tense and nervous. That's right. How did she know it was nervous? Okay. Before he even walked into my apartment, I saw everything. We could drag things out for another few months, but we were not meant to be. Something in his rigid movements and wandering eyes, that's right, distracted, even when it was just the two of us, made that clear to me. Wasn't, that's right, instant, right, it wasn't, it was an instant, some pre-male instinct to run from a bad mate. And should I have trusted it? Okay. So what she just basically said is she's telling you how she rejected him, okay? And she knew it just by when he held her hand, by the way he walked. That's right. By the way he walked even, okay? So, you know, so she judged him on the way he walked, the way he held her hand. So she was looking for his every little move, his every little everything, you know. And this is the thing that seems to fail you people, okay? Because you women, here you are, you know, the hardest thing you ever had to do in the dating scene in your life was sit back and have it handed to you. Because this is what happens to the majority of all women. Everything's handed to them on a silver platter, including the male, the guy. Because, see, the women don't got to do the approaching. They don't got to do the impressing. They ain't the one that has to have the this and the that and the this and the that and the this and the that. And it just shows how picky they're getting to be, even a walk. Wonder how the female would act if the guy turned her down just merely based on the way she held his hand, the way she walked, maybe the way she turned her head. That's right. Maybe the sound of her voice. That's right. And then, of course, we have this
trend among baby boomers divorcing after many years of marriage. Some call it empty nest divorce. As CBS 4's Cynthia Demas reports, when you get divorced late in life, one of the toughest questions is, can I afford to break up?
Good girl. Debbie Jenkins thought she'd be married forever, but it wasn't meant to be.
I had my family and my children to help me through it.
The 52-year-old mother divorced her husband after 2 decades of marriage.
Emotionally, physically, we just couldn't relate to each other anymore.
You have to accept things as they are, not as you wish them to be.
50-something Thadia Kuchera did it too. She ended her marriage last year.
I decided to take the risk on myself and take a chance on myself.
These women have plenty of company. Since 1990, the divorce rate has doubled to 1 in 4 couples over the age of 50. And researchers found after age 40, it's often the wife who wants the divorce.
People are no longer willing to compromise, to live an unhappy life just for the sake of a marriage.
Divorce attorney Barry Weinberger says longevity is a key factor.
We are all living longer. Spending 4 decades, 5 decades, 6 decades with the same person is becoming more difficult.
Rachel Sussman counsels couples and says there are other reasons.
Women in their 40s and 50s and 60s feel very youthful. And if you're in a marriage that your needs aren't being met, we have choices today.
Researchers found this generation of women has more financial independence, and baby boomers put an emphasis on individual happiness.
Should you live 2 people unhappily or as roommates under the same roof? Why should you have to live that way?
Financial advisor Jeff Landers cautions splitting up later can be complicated.
Retirement issues become very, very critically important because people that are in their 50s or maybe early 60s retirement is right around the corner.
But for these new divorcees, it's time to enjoy their independence.
I was there to take care of everybody's needs, and I just feel like it's my time now.
What really has changed is what's inside of me. And I feel so much more confident and so much more sure of myself.
So, what do the younger generations think about baby boomers splitting up when things get rough? They say pretty much they don't like it, and they think the couples should stick it out. I'm Cynthia Demas, CBS 4 News.
Yes, just remember, guys, that if you're in a marriage and her needs ain't being met, that's right, her needs ain't being met. Yeah, her needs, that's right. Then she's going to divorce you, even if she's 50 years old, because her needs ain't being met. That's right. You remember that expectations list that she had when you met her? You remember all the stuff you vaginas did to break your butt to go out of your way to bend over to kiss her butt? Okay. Remember how you placed her on a pedestal? Remember how she's always had everything handed to her on a silver platter? She's been placed on a pedestal. Everything's been handed to her, handed to her, handed to her, handed to her. And she didn't have to take any responsibility for anything, because she wasn't responsible for her own actions, for anything she ever did. You know, matter of fact, her children had to be more responsible than she did. Okay. And they said it, you know, she's got her children to raise her now. That's right. Well, you know, her children might as well be raising her, because she never grew up. But she has her children now. That's for her family to take care of her. Her children. To manipulate the children, to take care of her so that I can throw daddy away. Because I'm through using daddy now, because daddy wasn't providing for me no more, giving to me. My greed, my selfishness. Because I couldn't love him for who he was, because I never loved him to begin with. I was using him because it was up to him. He was born with a dick between his legs to take care of me. Me, a female. That's right. It was his job to support me, and we have a bigger world now. We're free and independent, as women are, yeah. And since we're free and independent now, and we have a lot more choice because we're hit on all the time. And, you know, and I've been with this guy for, you know, 4 or 5 decades now, so, yeah, I'm tired of sucking his dick, and, yeah, and using him. And there's other guys sitting on me, and this guy's got a whole bunch of new stuff I've never had before, so, you know, and he can offer me more. Yeah, he can offer me more, me more, me more, me more. That's right. And so since he can offer me more, me more, me more, I'm going to go ahead and throw him away now. Yep. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw him away now, you know. You know, the hamburger wrapper. Yep. Throw him away now. Yep. That's what I'm going to do. Sad, isn't it? And then this is going to happen. So, you know, ladies, after you got super picky, when you had to do nothing at all in the dating scene, and you got your guy now, that's right, you got the one you picked, that's right, turned down 2, 3, 4, 500 guys, fucked 2, 3, 400, you know, and then picked out one, that's right, got his kids, okay, that's right, manipulated the kids, that's right, turning kids against their dad. Over the years of raising them, you spoil the kids, manipulate the kids. That's right. Twist and lie to the kids so that when you're in your 50s now, you could divorce, just like they said, just like you've seen there. Okay? Because it's not the same no more. That's right. You've done your duties. You've raised your children, manipulated them now into taking care of you. So you don't need him no more to take care of you, because you got his kids, your kids, but they're your kids, not his, even though you couldn't have had them without him. But you understand that they're your kids, never was his, even though you couldn't have had them without him. And you've manipulated your kids now so that they will always be there to take care of you. So now that you've gotten middle age, you can be independent and free now. That's right. And as you're independent and free now, ladies, okay, and you've got your kids to take care of you, you've dumped him on the side of the curb now, on the road, Don't need him no more. You're through using him now. And you got your kids that'll take care of you for the rest of your life now. Because you're through using him now. You don't care how much you hurt him. So what? Because it's all about you. Because you're free and you're independent. And so what if you hurt another human being, right? Because after all, he is just a guy. And guys don't have emotions and feelings. Isn't that right, ladies? You know, and for you people say go overseas where you can find a real woman. You know, there was a gal named Religia. She lived in the Philippines. Overseas? Yeah, in the Philippines. And you know, one time we were talking. When she said something, and I said that I didn't appreciate, and I says, how would you feel if I told you this? And I said this to you. And her answer was, are you a woman? And I says, well, of course not. And she says, well, then you can't say that. Because you're just a guy. Guys do not have emotions and feelings like women do. That's right, this came from a Filipino lady. So guys, when you're thinking about going overseas, don't think it's any better. But to all of you women out there now that you've gotten in your 50s and you've manipulated and twisted your kids and got your kids to support you so you could dump the guy on his ass. So you're using him now, but you don't mind because you're free and independent. And so when you break his heart and you tear his heart out and husband screams, God is great, you devil, as he's talking to you, lady, because he's telling you God is great and you're a devil, you're evil. You fucked him up before beheading his wife with 6 children all at home. Okay, of course I'll leave this link in the more for you. But you know, this is just a little example of it happened again because of your special ability to manipulate, lie, use, not give a flying fuck about anybody but yourself. So when you get to middle age, you dump them on your ass. You know, I just seen a story yesterday where a middle-aged couple, she divorced him. She did just like what you're saying right there. He came back, broke into her house in the middle of the night, which used to be his house too, you know. But of course, she threw him out. He proceeded to kill her and kill himself. So, you know, I guess rightly I can't blame him. But I just thought I'd throw that in your face. See, this is what happens in society when you pamper and baby and pamper and baby, pamper and baby, pamper and baby, pamper and baby, because that's what we do to women. We pamper and baby them their entire life. We give them their every single want, and we put them above ourselves. And then what happened as time went by, a lot of men, well, they got a razor blade and they sliced off their gonads. They became a vagina. That's right. Because it was getting harder and harder to get a woman, and the reason it was getting harder and harder to get a woman is because we pampered and babied and pampered and babied and pampered and babied. And we gave them all the everything. And they had all the pick, all the say-so, all the choice, all the everything. And we taught them, you know, we showed them fashion. We showed them that the man owed them, and we taught them when they were little girls to look for the best for themselves, the best, and then we gave them the image of what was the best. That's right, we fed them that image, which the majority of men could never live up to, because the majority of men ain't born with a golden ring in their mouth. That's right. And so, anyhow, this is a prime example of how you women create your very own killers. And then you whine and cry after you're dead. And how you vaginas help the women to create their very own killers. So just keep right on going. Just keep doing what you're doing. That way we can have a whole bunch more of it happen again. Okay?